Hi, I'm Roxanne Carter, and I have been asked a few questions about around the block pattern, how to do half seam construction. So I thought I would do a video so you could see. It's a little bit easier than you think. So first thing we do is we sew our strip sets, just like the pattern shows here. We sew our strip sets, and I needed 4 different ones, if you can possibly get that, so that you have a lot of variety in the 4 places in the block. So once we get our strip sets cut, then you're going to cut your 12.5-inch pieces here. And the way I ask you to cut these is you're going to take the one, fold it right side together and crease it. I can do it with an iron or just crease it. Then I'm going to take a chalk marker if I want and just kind of center it right there in that middle. And then I'm going to take a 45-degree line of a ruler. You can use a long one, or I have this 2.5 by 12.5 ruler. So I place that. So the 45 is right on the bottom, and the edge of the ruler hits that chalk mark. Okay. So now I'm going to take and I'm going to cut it in half. And so now we're going to take, and one of these will go for a block, and the other one is the same, and it's going to go for another block. One thing I do tell you to do is you're going to make 2 different blocks. This one's going this way, and this one's going this way. They're opposite each other. So what you're going to do is you're going to take half of the strip sets, and you're going to cut them the opposite direction. So the pattern tells you about that. Once we get our strips all cut, then I will show you how to do the half seam construction. Okay, so we take our 5-inch square and we lay it on point. And then we're going to take one of our 4 pieces here and we're going to lay it like right here. So the long edge of the piece goes to the block, just as I'm showing here. And then we would take and put the next one there, the next one there, and the next one there. So, but I don't like that, so I'm going to change this one here. But it's kind of 2 darks across from each other, something like that. I like that layout better. So you can kind of rearrange your blocks whichever way you like. So when we start to sew these, we're going to take this one here, and we're going to line up the top edge of there, and we're going to sew down about 3 inches. It doesn't have to be a perfect 3 inches. It's just that you want to leave enough room here at the bottom to finish that seam as our last seam. Okay, so now we've got the first one done. We're going to take the next one and fold it over and line it up. And this time we're going to sew all the way down to the end. It doesn't matter if this doesn't go. You'll see why in a few minutes. So lay it back out and take the next piece, and you would lay this on here, sew it, and then hold this one out of the way, and then this one will go on, and then you'll finish that center seam. Okay, so this is my last piece, and I'm going to hold this one out of the way. Now I'm going to line this one up again at the bottom, and this is going to go all the way. You don't have to worry about matching it down to the bottom. It's okay. We'll see in a minute why. Okay, so now we can take this one, fold our seam out, and now we'll take the very first one and we're going to finish that seam. So we're going to hold this out of the way, and we're going to overlap about 1/2 inch here, and then sew this one all the way out to the bottom. Okay, so now we're going to take it to the iron and press it out. Now I'm just going to lay my iron here, and I'm going to press all these seams all the way out, like that. Okay, so now we're going to trim the block to 14 inches, which I have a 15-inch ruler. I don't have a 14-inch ruler. So the way we do this is we're going to take our ruler and we're going to lay it down on our square, and we're going to take the 7-inch line and go right down the middle, right there, right down the crease of that, and our other 7-inch going the opposite direction, the horizontal, is going to go right there. So that's going to give us a 14-inch block, and it's pretty close to it. If it doesn't come out exactly right, it's okay. We're going to deal with it. But you can see that that block right there does not have to go all the way down to the end. Get that line back up again. There we are. And then we're going to trim on the top here. I can trim there. Now I'm going to take and turn it around, and I will trim it just to 14 by 14. And so I can put my 14 there and my 14 here. I'm not so worried about the center now. I just want to make sure I get the 14-inch block. And I can cut there, and I can cut there. And that is how you do half seam construction on the around the block.